Hello, welcome or welcome back to Sapling Tarot. My name is Imogen. Today I'm going to be doing the Cliche Tarot Reader tag, which was originally set up by Anna at Astral Lady Tarot, maybe two years ago, and then I think it was resurrected with more prompts added to it over the last year or so, and it just sounded like a fun video to ease my way into the new year. I'll be showing some cards, so you've got something to look at while I'm at her on, but those cards will be the answer to the first prompt. So, without further ado, am I a Cliche Tarot Reader? First one is, do I have duplicate decks? And the easiest thing I think is what a lot of people would have, which is I have multiple iterations of the Smith-Waite tarot. This lives in a rice bag. This is the universal weight, and is my preferred, or certainly my preferred out of these two. Queer tarot is a little bit different and I love it very much. So yeah, so I have 3 Rider-Waite Smith or Smith-Waite deck. This is the first one. This is the which side's the backs? Okay, this one is, I mean, you've probably seen it. It's super dark. The line work is very thick. I find the yellow a little bit obnoxious personally. I mean, now that I'm looking at it, it has its place. But this is why I wanted something more like the universal weight, because I can't see. My eyes aren't bad, but like I can't see what's going on here. It's so busy with the dark lines that I can't figure out what any of this is supposed to be. So this was the first Smith-Waite deck that I had. Again, I just think that it's so dark, so I didn't keep using this one. I learned with this one, but then I wanted to look further afield for something that I could see better, and so entered the universal weight, which is just got like softer, more kind of like pencil-y colours. It's still pretty true to Pixie's original artwork, but the line weight is just lighter, and the colours are lighter, and I find it easier to see the details in it. So yeah, so there you go, that's the Queen of Cups, and there's just, I just think that's easier to work with, and so easier to point out details to people, and easier to show on camera as well. So yes, that's another one of the same deck. And then the Queer Tarot is a bit bigger than either of those two, but it's pretty true to it's pretty much a clone. The people are much more stylish, the colours are much bolder. I mean, maybe it's more different than I give it credit for. And it, you know, it's certainly gayer. And you know, there's me saying that, oh, you know, the original, what's it called? The original Rider-Waite tarot deck is too dark, and here I am with a kind of queer club kid vibe deck saying that this is better, but you know, I'm sure you get it. Yeah, so it's the symbols are very similar, the positions are very similar, it's just mostly the colour schemes and the outfits that are different. Certainly a little bit more skin tone diversity than in either the universal weight or the original Rider-Waite decks. And so I'll just flip through this one while I'm talking, because this one's it's the most fun to look at, really, isn't it? The next question is, do you have a backup deck? Is that like one of your favourites? And no, I don't. I barely have the money to afford the decks decks I do have. And I mean, arguably I don't even have the money to afford those, and so to buy a second deck that's identical to one that I already have as a backup, and it wouldn't necessarily be adding anything to my tarot knowledge, is just something that I haven't quite managed to rationalise yet. I think if I was going to, I would maybe buy a backup of the Spacious Tarot, just because I get so much use out of that, and it would be quite interesting to have one with the expansion pack mixed in and one without. Or the Tarot of the Divine, which is my working tarot deck, the one that I take out and about with me for paid readings. And so to have a backup for that would be sensible, and that's a mass market one, so that wouldn't even be super expensive, so that will probably happen eventually when, you know, another drink's been spilt on it or whatever. Although it does have quite good cardstock for that, it's fairly wipe clean. So no, I don't yet have any backup tarot decks. Do I have any tarot tattoos? No, I don't, which is really sad to me. I have some astrology tattoos and other general tattoos, but I am yet to get a tarot themed one. My real jumping into the tarot world has only really happened since the beginning of COVID, so I haven't really been comfortable enough to go and book a tattoo appointment yet. And also I just haven't really had the disposable income. If you haven't done this tag, or if you have any tarot tattoos, I would be super interested to hear about it. And if you don't have any, I would be really interested to know what you would get, because I don't know. Like, I know some people have cards, like specific cards, some people have symbols, and I don't know exactly what I would get. I mean, I'd probably get more than one is the answer, but yeah, I don't know, but I like thinking about it. So please do share below if you have any or if you want any, because I think tattoo chats are super fun. Do I drink tea? And I think I saw Sylvie at Tarot Magpie answer this one with, obviously, I'm British. And I did do a VR to Amidst the Greys coffee house decks with my own tea house decks, because I can't drink coffee, which is very sad, but I do drink tea, and I drink a lot of tea. So I didn't know it was a cliche tarot reader thing to drink tea, but wow, do I fit the stereotype. Mostly decaf now because my body hates me, but I also drink herbal tea, and with my like herbalism studies and things, I drink it medicinally and meditatively and just to enjoy it, as well as for caffeine and habits. Next one is crystals, and I do have some crystals, mostly just like tumble stones and things. I did collect them a bit when I was younger in like bigger pieces, but I'm now a little bit more mindful of the ethical considerations around where they come from and who mines them, and stuff like that. So if I find them, or if I'm given them, then I keep them, obviously, but I don't tend to buy them anymore or seek them out, because yeah, I don't want to perpetuate any difficult stuff like that in the sort of, I don't know, whatever the spirituality equivalent of fast fashion is. I don't really want to do any of that. So yeah, not so many crystals anymore. Some, and the ones that I have I do use for all sorts of things, but yeah, not so much anymore. Tarot books, yes I do. I also have ebooks, because that's how I read a lot of stuff. So yeah, love tarot books. Have, you know, not a massive collection of tarot books, but certainly ever expanding in all the directions that the tarot can take you, which is, I mean, infinite. So what is a tarot book? Is it just about the tarot? Is it about astrology or numerology or history? Or there's so many things that you could still count as books about tarot. So yes, love me a tarot book. like vintage tarot books, old second-hand ones with slightly questionable, outdated information. But I also love the newest ones that I have are like Charlie Claire Burgess's Radical Tarot, and so I really love to, what's the phrase? Run the gamut of all the different sorts. Tarot journal, definitely, always. That's what I'm working from right now with my Cliche tarot reader prompts, and it's where I sketch out ideas for spreads or deck designs or studying or readings and stuff, and I journal everything, because otherwise all of my thoughts would fall out of my head. How do you shuffle? If you watch my previous video about tarot habits, you will know that my answer to how do you shuffle or do you love to shuffle is I enjoy it, I am bad at it. I'm an overhand or a messy overhand shuffler that does read jumpers, which I know usually the people who are bad at shuffling are like, I couldn't read jumpers because how would you, you'd just be reading the whole deck, and so I do end up reading the whole deck, which is why I certainly don't charge by card because when I do professional readings, because people tend to get a lot more than they bargain for in terms of the amount of cards they expect, because I will just keep a little pile of jumpers at the side of the reading and then work through those at the end. Fairy lights? No, sadly, I don't have any fairy lights. I think I would like some, but the house that I live in doesn't really have any plug sockets, and yeah, it's the kind of thing that I would either leave on all the time, which feels wasteful, or I'd forget to switch them on, which feels pointless, and so I don't actually have any. We even lost our Yule lights at some point in the last year, which was very sad, but yeah, I might get some of the little ones just to go around my desk, or my little kind of altar space thing, but yeah, alas, no fairy lights. Candles. I do candles, and I have two on my desk at the moment, and they're scented candles, and this is my favourite one, which is like, smells like a forest. And then this was one that I got for Yule last year, which is the sister candle and smells like eucalyptus and rosemary. It's just really clean. It's supposed to smell like a hot spring or a bathhouse or something. But more than scented candles, I burn just like plain little beeswax candles. This is a black candle left over from some witchy stuff I was doing at the end of last year. And yeah, I have stubs of beeswax candles all over the place. So yes to candles. However, next one, no to incense. I am a sensory dweeb, autistic, and I struggle with smoke and too much smell or too much scent, and I live with other autistic people, and so I have to be really careful about smoke and scent that kind of permeates the space, and so particularly in the winter when you can't open the windows and whatever, I tend not to ever have any incense, because even the sticks themselves I think are really quite potent, and I get migraines and all sorts of fun stuff, so I tend to not do incense. I will occasionally burn some herbs, like dried garden herbs, but that's kind of as far as the incense goes in my life. Dedicated space? Ish. I have a bit of a bookcase where I sometimes have a card standing up, or, is this a dedicated space where you do readings? Because not really. I usually just use my bed. And yeah, just kind of looking at this. Well, I suppose it's the next thing as well as altar. So the dedicated space and the altar are kind of the same thing. It's a bit of a bookcase where I keep all my tarot bits. Certainly like my working decks and like top favourite decks at the moment live in one little spot, and then my kind of deck purgatory lives underneath. And then usually I just use my bed for readings because there's so much space, easier than using a table, and the light is better. I have a north facing room and I live in Scotland, so the amount of light that I have access to is pretty minimal. So yeah, in terms of having a dedicated tarot space and altar and things, it's a very makeshift, flexible kind of situation. Do I have a cat? No, I don't, which is incredibly sad. No, I would love a cat one day, but we don't really have space. And like I think I said before, or in a previous video, I can't remember, a little bit precious about my things in a way that I think is probably some kind of emotional, psychological baggage left over from something else. And I'm a bit sentimental at times. Well, this is fun. The knight and the page with the wiggly lines. I've not seen that before. But yeah, so I'm not in the right place at the moment to have a cat, but one day, and I do love the neighbourhood cats, and you know, they can be my tarot cat proxies. Do I have tarot bags and cloths? And yes, I do. But I have I've made my own tarot cloths, which I use to wrap up my decks and also for spread cloths, especially when I'm out and about. And in terms of bags, I have some that have come free with tarot decks, and then I have a beautiful pouch from the amazing Kelly Bear. And then the final question is, what deck do you travel with? And that is the Tarot of the Divine, which I have probably mentioned. This also gives me an opportunity to show you the spread cloth. But yeah, this is my working deck. I chose it because it shows a lot of different sorts of people without feeling like a box ticking exercise. I've talked about it before. It's also mass market. It's a really resilient kind of cardstock. I think the imagery is really beautiful. I really love the colour palette. And so yeah, this is the deck that comes out and about with me. Just going back to the spread cloth question, I did all the suits on the corners of the card so that I could explain to people what they were. So we've got like a flaming wand and an airy, can you even see that? An airy sword and a flaming wand and a cup full of water, and then the pentacles were meant to have leaves growing out of them, but I think I sent an earlier draft of the image. Oops. But yeah, so that is my travel deck. So 7, 8 definite things in which I am a cliche tarot reader, and then all of the rest, well, you heard all of my annoying little caveats. I think I'm a bit of a cliche, and I love that because I love our tarot community. Yeah, I just think it's great, and it's so much fun, and I like that all of the things that are cliche in this side of Tarot Tube are just like fun and nice things about the love of tarot. There's nothing dark or scary about us lot. It's just cute and passionate. And so anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Anna at Astral Lady Tarot for coming up with this tag years ago. Thank you to whoever it was who resurrected it and added more questions. And thank you for watching. I hope you're well. I hope you're taking good care of yourself. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.